This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Zinger Lite model 219RB travel trailer. I'm just going to go over some of the features. This isn't a sales video or a floor plan video, it's just some of the features. So this particular one has power stabilizers. So you have a switch in the front for both stabilizers and a switch in the back for both stabilizers, which is right here. So you don't, obviously you don't lift the trailer with the stabilizers, you just take the wiggle out of it. You got a power awning with LED strip, outside speakers. You can put a TV outside. You got signal out right here and power, of course. Fold down steps. You can adjust the legs to the terrain that you're on just by pulling these pins here. There's one on each leg. Okay. The other is for the front stabilizers. Now this is your hitch here. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how it operates when you come to pick it up. It's a good hitch. Excellent hitch. And here we have a crank. This one is a 3/4 inch crank. And then this one here, the small one, let me see if I get a good picture of it here, get out of the sun here. This one right here, this is in case your tongue jack fails. This is a power tongue jack, so you can pull the plug out of the right here, stick the crank on it, and crank it manually. Okay. Okay, so like I stated, a power tongue jack. You got 2 LP tanks. Now keep in mind when you put your battery on, this is the kill button right here. So you want to make sure it's turned on. Okay. Okay, so this is the vent for the range hood. So when you're going to vent to the outside using the range hood fan, there's a little tab on each side here. Open them up so the baffle here flaps freely. So anytime you're venting to the outside, you want it flapping freely so it can exhaust. But other times when you're traveling or in storage, you want it shut. Okay. So to get water to the trailer, there's 2 different ways. The most common way is city water connection right here. So you just hook your hose on there, turn it on, and it's pressurized, and all the fixtures are ready to go, right? Now if you're going to a campsite or a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here. You pre-fill it, then you can use the onboard water pump to pump the water. So even if you don't have city water, as long as you fill the tank, you still can operate all the plumbing as if you do. Alright, and also to drain your freshwater tank, it's kind of hard to see here. I'll try to get down here. You can barely see it down there. It's a white gate valve. You just pull that out and it dumps the leftover water in your freshwater tank. That's just an outside shower to spray things down, kids and dogs and feet or whatever you have. These are the low point drains. That's for winterizing. Okay. So these are your dump valves here. Your black valve, which is toilet water and waste, and your gray valve, which is for the gray tank, which is sink and shower water. Okay, so basically when you, well, to close them here, when you hook up your hose, you put it on the dump station sewer, and then you'll dump the black first. The black is black tank, toilet water and waste, like I said, and it's the dirtiest of water. So then you'll use the gray to kind of clean it out. It's still, gray is dirty water, just not nearly as dirty as the black, of course. So you do it in that order. Let me look back here. Now, right here, this is a black tank flush. So if you're at the dump station, you've just dumped the black and then the gray tank. So you leave the black tank valve open. You have to leave it open. You put the hose at the dump station right on here, and turn it on, and this will spray out the inside of your black tank, and it'll clean off the sensors. It just gives it a good spraying down, so it's a really good thing to do. So if you have a working hose at the dump station, I recommend always doing this. Okay. Alrighty. So this is your power cord. Pulls out. This one is either 25 or 30 feet long. I don't want to tell you for sure because I don't know. It's at least 25 though. 30 amp. Okay, this is your water heater. Now the switches to control it are inside the trailer, but I just wanted to show you that this is where you drain it right here. It's an 1 1/16", a 6-point socket. So make sure you, you know, obviously when you winterize, if you don't know this, you'll have to, if you're going to winterize yourself, you'll have to learn it. But you have to bypass the water heater before you pump any antifreeze into it when you're winterizing it, and then you have to drain it manually by taking this cap off and letting it drain out. Also, a lot of people, if they're only going to camp a couple times a year, they'll drain it after they're done just so it doesn't have stagnant water in there. So, okay, I'll show you the switches when we get inside. All right, let's see. This is just satellite and cable through. Okay, this housing tells us you're pre-wired for a backup camera, so you can always add that on if you choose. We do have them here. Now, the manufacturer states you have to inspect the roof every 90 days. So you got to go up on the roof, have someone else go up there or whatever. But you can walk up there, be very careful, but you want to check all the sealant and seals, make sure there's no cracking or separation where water can get in. You're going to look at the vent covers and the roofing material to make sure that, you know, it didn't get damaged by a low branch going through the campground or something like that. So every 90 days you want someone to take a look at the roof. If you see an issue, take care of it immediately. It's important. Most people do not inspect their roof enough, so that's an important thing when it comes to your maintenance. Okay, so here we are inside. So we'll look up here. This is your control panel here. Okay, you press it and it will it'll tell you your levels of everything. I'm not plugged in right now, so I can't do it. But you check your battery, your fresh water, your black tank, your gray tank. It tells you how full they are. To turn on your water pump is this switch right here. Remember I told you can pump water out of the fresh water tank. The water pump is also used for winterizing. You can light your water heater on gas here. You can turn on the electric heating element, which is what most people use right here. Always make sure that there's water in the tank, the hot water tank, before you turn on the heating element, because it can burn the heating element out in like a minute. So it's not the end of the world, but it's an added expense. So make sure there's water in there. These are just lights here, and this is your power awning switch here. Make sure that you don't leave the awning out unattended, because you don't want to get damaged by wind, and it'll happen quick if it does. So if you're leaving the campground or there's bad weather, whatever, just make sure you roll it in, okay? Alrighty, so this device down here is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. Okay, when you got power to it, it should always be green. There's a green LED on it. If it goes off, you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off, and figure out what's going on. Also, if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low, so it's a low battery indicator also. All right. You have GFCIs, probably one in this trailer, but maybe two. But the main thing to know is that every plug in the trailer and the one on the outside are wired through a GFCI. So if you're using an appliance outside and it pops, you'll be resetting it in here. Okay. This device here is the power converter. This converts AC to DC power. Let me pull that off there. It converts AC to DC power. So you start off with 110 AC, which is regular household current, and it comes in through this side, and you have circuit breakers here just like you'd see at home, and they're labeled, right? Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. You have 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. Okay. Also, keep in mind if you have a wild power surge or something and the 12 volt side goes out, you lose your 12 volt. Always check these two fuses right here, these 240s. There's two of them, and they're the master fuses, so they protect the whole side. Odds are that's where the problem would be. Also, if these fuses blow, they'll actually light up, and you can see them glowing through this tinted plastic here. Okay, and last but not least, this is also a battery charger. So as long as you're plugged in, it's going to sense how much energy your battery needs and keep it charged up. Okay, so it does converts AC to DC, and it charges your battery. Okay, Now, this is the range hood. Remember I told you about opening the baffle on the outside. Microwave works like any other microwave. You don't have LP here, so I'll just talk you through it. Okay, so this is the sparker here. You turn this clockwise to spark it. So all you're going to do is turn, obviously got a knob for each burner. You turn it to high, and then you're just going to spark it, right? And it's going to light. And you got 3 of them. Then the last knob is for the oven. So what you'll do is all the way at the bottom here, all the way to the back is a pilot light. Maybe I can spark it so you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Okay, so what you do is you come up here and you go to the picture of the pilot light, and then you depress the knob, and you keep the knob depressed during the whole lighting procedure. Then you're going to spark this by turning it clockwise, of course, until you see the pilot light down here light. After it lights, you still hold this in for 10 seconds or so to heat it up. Then you go to operating temperature. When you shut it off, obviously the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay. Last but not least, the refrigerator. This is a very simple DC refrigerator. It runs off of DC current, so it'll be running off the 12-volt side of this power converter when you're plugged in, and it'll also run off the battery when you're pulling it down the road, and your tow vehicle's alternator will be charging your battery. Okay. This is very simple. You just turn it on. Set the temperature, that's all there's to it, and then there's a power saver mode here. You can select it for like at nighttime, whatever, save a little energy, but it's like I said, it runs on 12-volt DC. Now, let's see what I forgot anything here. Hold on. I don't want to walk past something and miss it. This is just your thermostat. It's very simple. It clicks to the right when it's off. So you're just going to click this to the left, set the temperature. It's that simple. There's the furnace itself makes 3 attempts to light. It's all automatic, so you shouldn't really have to do much of anything. Just click it over and let it light. And the controls for your air conditioner are right here on the ceiling. Okay. Anyway, you can drop this table by pulling the legs out or the poles out. Drop it on the cleats here and use the back cushions to fill in the space, and this turns into another bed. Let me look in here. Just for the heck of it. Okay. Any of the lights, these lights that don't work with the master switch, will have a button in the middle, or a button somewhere. This one is right here, so keep that in mind. These are your TV hookups right here, and there's a mounting bracket right here for a TV, or there's a backer plate for a TV mounting bracket right there. Okay, sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Your toilet, if you're not familiar with RV toilets, this is where you flush it right here. Of course, when you're hooked up to water, water will come swirling out here and run right into the black tank. Now, the black tank is directly below. All right? So, and you have to have water and chemical in here to use it. You can see the diagram here. So you pull into the campground, you hook up your power and your water, that sort of thing. Then you'll come inside and you'll dump one dose of chemical right into the bowl. Then you'll step on the pedal, hold it down, and water will start swirling into the black tank below. There's no way to tell exactly what a gallon is, but you stand here until you put about a gallon in there. Some people use more water. It's up to you. But the main thing is you have to have water and chemical in the black tank before you start using it, or the smell will be prohibitive, I guess you could say. And it also can get clogged up. So just keep in mind that you have to have water and chemical in there. If you're staying at the campsite for another week, but you had to dump your black tank, after the black tank's dumped, you come in here, repeat the procedure. Put chemical in, step on the pedal, put a gallon or so of water in, and you're all set. All right. Always run your fan with the shower to pull the humidity out. Okay. So let me walk through here. I don't think I went up front yet. There's obviously your bed, and there's some storage underneath. Your emergency escape window right there. You're just going to open this lever, push it all the way through, and then grab this red tab which pulls the screen out, and just yank it out, and then you can escape in an emergency. You have signal and power here, and another backing plate for a TV. Okay. Alrighty. Also, this is your smoke alarm. You want to have make sure there's a battery in there and it's working. Okay. All right. So I think that covers it. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit, and please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That's very important to do. Make sure there's no cracking or separation anywhere. You just inspect it. Odds are you'll go up there for years and not have to do anything, but you don't know. That's why you're inspecting it. There can be, like I said, road debris could fly up there on the expressway. Low branches could damage it. The trailer will shift as it goes down the road. So you never know. So you want to inspect it. And like I said, if you see an issue, take care of it immediately. You don't buy caulk at the hardware store. This one takes the roof. It takes a lap sealant called Dicor, and then the sides are probably clear Proflex. So always spend the extra $2 or so to get the correct stuff at an RV place. Okay? Thank you very much.